Okay, we're back and we're changing it up a little bit. We haven't done one of these in a long time, but I'm here to piss off Funko Pop collectors. I am going to open some of my new Funko Pops. Now, I know people think that opening Funko Pop boxes is sacrilege, but most of my Funkos are delivered from the US to Taiwan, and when they make it through customs and through the boxes and through the wonderful Amazon shipping, most of the boxes look pretty crappy. So maybe 1 in 5 comes in one of those special Funko like boxes with the box inside of another box with wrapping and stuff like that around it. Those are the ones that are usually safe, but most of the time they don't come that way. So I open them. I don't care. I like my Funkos, especially my Funko Legends. As you can see in front of me here, I got out some of my Legends. Most of my Funkos are still in this big carrying tote right now because I was going to say, after the earthquake, it was hard to clean up. The earthquake was like 5 months ago, but I don't care. 4 months ago. No, 5 months ago. The earthquake was almost 5 months ago, but goddamn, cleaning up after that with all my collectibles and everything in this house was just such a pain in the ass. So most of my Funkos went into a bin. Ones like Vader and Asuka and Dusty and them, they stay out because I use them in a lot of my videos. So I brought out the Legends that I could find easily, even though I know there's a Shawn Michaels, there's an Iron Sheik, and there's a bunch of other ones in there, but I don't know where they are. They're buried. Okay, today, I've been getting in a lot of Funkos lately, and I've been promising Funko openings for a while. So yeah, we're going to open 3 today. We are going to be opening some Legends. That's why we have the Legends in front of us. I was able to pick up one of my favorite of the big men of wrestling. Now, everybody has their favorite big guy, right? Vader's one of my favorites. Bam Bam was one of my favorites when I was a lot younger. It's hard to pick now because there's been so many. Like if you're watching wrestling right now, like Odyssey Jones and what's his name? Bronson Reed. They look like they're going to be pretty killer in there as well. But if I had to pick my top 5, and I feel bad because Dusty's not going to be in my top 5. My personal top 5, Dusty would be like number 6 or 7. My personal top 5 in no particular order has to be Vader, Bam Bam, Mark Henry. Oh my God, I forget the other one that I was just thinking of. Vader, Bam Bam, Mark Henry. Oh my God. I'm trying to think of who was I thinking. Kamala. I loved me some Kamala. I absolutely loved me some Kamala. So, who do we say now? Vader. Yeah, fuck, I've said it like 100 times. Vader, Bam Bam, Kamala, Mark Henry, and the Big Boss Man. The Big Boss Man. GameStop exclusive Big Boss Man. This one was a pain in the butt for me to get. This one was not easy to get. Every time I saw it on Amazon, it was no international shipping. No international shipping. And then finally one day it said international shipping to Taiwan. So of course I'm going to get me the Boss Man. I would have to throw in the One Man Gang as like probably my number 6. I think One Man Gang probably comes up in there as well, especially since you can put One Man Gang and Akeem together at the same time. Okay, so here we go. We have the Big Bubba Rogers, Big Boss Man Funko Pop. That is a cool looking pop. Like just his uniform details to me, that kills it right there. Like that is an awesome setup pop. Nice with the sunglasses hanging on the front there. You've got the strap across. He's got his nightstick in his hand. You've even got the sergeant or whatever stripes on the side, on the both sides on that one. Yellow stripe down the side of the pants, the black pants, even the detail into the belt. Like, you got to give it to Funko. Sometimes they really go over the top on their details, and they do really, really well. Like some of these pops, the details not as great, but I would have to say that this BOSSMAN one, this has got some killer detail to it. I really like this one because I can put them together. I have 3 out of my 5 favorite big men right now. I don't think there is a Mark Henry one. I wish there was a Mark Henry one, but I don't think there is a Mark Henry pop. And I don't think there's a Kamala pop either. Why would there not be a Kamala pop? That would be the most killer pop. Make a Kamala pop. Come on, Funko. Get on it. Get us a Kamala. That would be awesome. We're going to move DiBiase down, and we're going to move down our Dusty. Dusty fits. You know what I mean? Like those 4 together. Those 4 together in like a 4-way match would be absolutely killer to watch. Okay, so number 1 right there, Big BOSSMAN. I think that might be the best of the 3 that we're going to crack open today. Next one, same era, and same thing. Both this guy that we're about to open here and the Big BOSSMAN came from the 80s Classic era, rolled over into the kind of cartoony era, also jumped to WCW, and then came back for the Attitude Era. Who do you think that is? That's pretty good. Both of these guys did that. Actually, all 3 of the guys that we did this were all part of the 80s era, the cartoon era, the WCW early days era, and then the WWE Attitude Era. So our next one is the man who caused a lot of controversy. Ravishing Rick Rude. Ravishing Rick Rude. I was a Rick Rude fan. I think the only time I wasn't cheering for Rick Rude was when he was up against Jake the Snake, because I was a bigger Jake fan than I was a Rick Rude fan. But all the rest of the time, I loved Rude. When I was reading the magazines and I was seeing the stuff about Rick Rude taking the championship in WCW and Rick Rude fighting there, that made me want to be able to find WCW, like NWA WCW stuff. But at the time, I didn't have access to it in Canada. So I kept up with the magazines, and Rick Rude was always one of the ones on my radar, because once he left WWE, I was really interested in the fact that he was the international champion in WCW, and he's the one that ripped off Mankind's ear, right? Cactus Jack lost his ear to him. I wish I had access to wrestling other than WWF at that time, because I would have been following Rick Rude, Ricky Steamboat when he went over there as well. All those guys over there were so interesting to me, because either I'd seen them in WWF or I had never seen them before, and they were this other company. It was like this other world of wrestling that I'd never got to see. So yeah, Rick Rude was one of those guys. Came in, fighting Hulk Hogan, fighting Ultimate Warrior. He left and went back over there where he was fighting against Flair and Steamboat and all those guys. And then came back when he was, after his injury with the back injury, came back and was part of the Attitude Era, where he simultaneously was on WWE Raw and WCW Nitro. Like, that was just killer. I can't believe that he pulled that one off. Okay, detail. Let's see. The nice stubble on the beard there. The hair to me is a little bit light. I guess I kind of remembered him being a little bit darker hair. They do have the little tattoo on the arm, because I think he only had the one tattoo. And I'm pretty sure it was like the ship anchor, kind of like Popeye. The tights, they did a pretty good job on the tights. They've got the ravishing down the side of it, as you can see there. They've got the ravishing down the side. They've got the sprayed color and stuff like that, and the flames on it. The boots are nice. The picture of Rude on the junk, it's not as good as you would expect. I kind of would have left it off if I was making this one. I wouldn't have put that on there if it was going to kind of look like a stamp onto the tights, but still pretty good. For someone that I kind of almost wouldn't even expect them to have a Funko of Rick Rude. but they are, it's one of the, he is classic. Like I said, he's one of the guys that spanned all those different eras. Not too many people can say that. Like Brett did. Well, I guess a bunch of the guys up here did. Okay, I guess you can say a lot of them spanned all those eras. Because there were a lot of guys that went from the 80s into the 90s and into the 2000s, and they all stuck around. And as long as they either reinvented themselves or were so goddamn good like Brett that they just fit anywhere except WCW. Okay, so there we go. Ravishing Rick Rude. The mustache looks cool. The tights are pretty cool. Like I said, I think the only thing that I would take out on this one, I love the detail on the boots. And his look less laced up for some reason. I don't know. Gonna have to go back and look at Rude to see if he laced his tights or if he laced up his boots differently than other people. But yeah, Rick Rude, I would give this one, I would say it's plain, but if you're a fan of Rude like I am, it's a pretty solid one. I would give this one like an 8 out of 10. I would give BOSSMAN like a 9.5. That BOSSMAN is killer. That BOSSMAN is an absolutely killer figure for him. All right. So we got BOSSMAN and we got Rick Rude. Who is our last one? That spans the eras from wrestling at, what was his first WrestleMania? His first WrestleMania would have been WrestleMania 2. WrestleMania 2. I saw him wrestle live at WrestleMania 3 in a 6-man tag match. He jumped a bunch of places. He went back and forth. He was one of the ones fighting with Rick Rude. I do believe he had some fights with Rick Rude in the early WCW days before coming back to join up with Bret Hart in the Hart Foundation. Davey Boy Smith. There we go. The British Bulldog. Oh, British Bulldogs. Like one, oh, this is a different, that's a different one. British Bulldogs. Right when I started watching wrestling, which was like 83, 84, when I started watching wrestling, it was the tag teams that always stood out to me. Always loved the tag teams. And there were some cool tag teams at the time. Like when I started was kind of the end of some of the older style tag teams. So I did get to see the Moondogs, of course, the Samoans. And there was some other tag teams that it was like people thrown together, like cool teams, but they didn't have that connection. Like the first team, I know I'm going off on a tangent. The first team I remember being like a team that was made to be that team with the matching tights and exactly who they were. Yeah, the Samoans, but like the Killer Bees. The Killer Bees, and then who else? Fabulous Rougeau Brothers. There was just something about that era of tag teams where it was like, damn, like these guys are not singles wrestlers. Like these are tag teams. I know before they wrestled there, they were probably singles in different places, but as a kid, the tag teams always got me. And the second those Bulldogs showed up, like my God, the second the Bulldogs showed up, it was just next level tag team wrestling. Absolutely next level. Like I was a big fan of Beefcake and Valentine. I loved Beefcake and Valentine for a heel tag team. Beefcake, Valentine, Sheiky Baby, and Nikolai Volkov. Loved those guys. I didn't like the US Express that much. Rotunda and Wyndham were not big for me, but the bad guys were. But when the Bulldogs came in, it was just like, oh my God. Like, how is this team so much better than everybody else? And they just lit up the screen. I wish there was a Bulldogs set. Like, this is, of course, the British Bulldog later. Like WCW and then returned to WWE prior to the Hart Foundation Bulldog, because that was a different Bulldog as well. But, yeah, this is cool. I like the Union Jack flag on them. I like the cape. I like the way they've got it. They even have it connected to the wrist parts that he used to wear. This would have been like also the way that he dressed, I believe, in WCW when he was tagged up with Lex Luger. Because I think Luger would come out with the American flag on him and he would come out with the Union Jack. But that's cool. British on the belt, Bulldog on the tights there. White boots, Union Jack on the one side of his tights with white on the other side. Yeah, this is good detail. They even got the cornrows on them before that became cancelable, where it's supposedly, oh, come on, like that's Viking hair, so you can't say that it's been culturally appropriated from somewhere when it was appropriated from people from like thousands of years ago or hundreds of years ago. I'm shit at history, but there we go. Okay, British Bulldog figure. This is cool. Does he stand well with that cape? Because some of these guys, when they've got extra stuff on them, they don't end up standing up that well. But that's a cool figure. Nice attention to detail. The cornrows detail, like the braids, I guess we should call it, so that we're not saying it wrong. The braids look cool, and that time he looked awesome in those braids. He really did. The flag on the back, the detail on the tights, the boots, the white on white for the laces and the boots. Pretty freaking killer. I would give this figure, compared to him, if we're comparing these two, the Bulldog one is much better. If we're comparing Bulldog to BOSSMAN, I think most people would go Bulldog, but I still love this BOSSMAN figure. My God, I love that BOSSMAN figure. Okay, so if we look at the three we got today, right? Can we actually zoom in on the three we got today? There we are. If we look at the three we got today, if I was going to put them in order of like best, or like, I can't say worst because I still really like that Rick Rude one. The Rick Rude one, I would put in, now that all three are beside each other, Rick Rude is like a 7.5. Bulldog is like an 8.5. See, I'm giving them 0.5s. Yeah, 7.5 here on Rude, 8.5 on Bulldog, and a 9.5 on the BOSSMAN. I don't know what's better than BOSSMAN. I would have to say that probably Ricky Steamboat. This Ricky Steamboat one is probably one of the best WWE put together pops ever. Like, there's nothing better than that. Even though that's not the era of Ricky Steamboat that I like. I like the WrestleMania 3 era Steamboat, where it's more the Bruce Lee outfit. But this is the gold standard. All right, that's the gold standard of Funko Pops. Vader, I'd be putting in at about a 9. I would put in my the Bam Bam at about an 8. I like the Bam Bam one. I just don't like the tattoos. I think the tattoos on him were pretty badly done when they did that one. The Dusty one's solid because it's just Dusty. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing you can say about it. It's just Dusty. Okay, so there we go. We opened some Funko Pops finally, like I've been promising to do on here for freaking ever. Okay, so my Legends collection is growing. Right? My Legends collection is growing. Like I said, I do have some other Legends around here. I just don't know where the hell they're packed away right now. But I am going to be cleaning up a lot of stuff around here, depending on if we're moving this year or not. But I am going to be having some shelves that are going to be my WWE Funkos, and especially my Legends. My 80s to early 90s Legends are the ones that I like the best. So there we go. 3 of the best big men in the business now in my collection. Actually 4. I'm not gonna kick Dusty out of there. Dusty is one of the best big men in the business as well. Bam Bam, Vader, Dusty, BOSSMAN, Funko Pop, get on your horse. Give me a Kamala and give me a Mark Henry. And a one-man gang while you're at it. Then we're up to like 7. I need to pick 3 more. I need a top 10 big men of all time. I can't throw in anybody that's out there right now because we haven't really seen them do much. Odyssey Jones, maybe down the line, maybe he's going to take over and be like the next level Mark Henry. He looks like he's going to be the next level Mark Henry, but who knows? Andre the Giant. I guess for drawing power, you got to put Andre the Giant up there in some of the best big men, but he just wasn't a wrestler like the other guys were. Like, BOSSMAN could move. He could absolutely move. Bam Bam could fly around. Vader could move like hell too. Oh, I swear I have a DVD. Do I have a DVD of the best big men? Let me check. I swear there was a WWE set that was like the best of the big men. What? It can't be just a network special. I swear there was a Best of the Big Men DVD that I had. I don't know. I just looked at my DVD collection and I don't see one. There's another DVD collection beside me here that's all... Oh my God. I am so lazy. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to show you how lazy I am. See all those DVDs all crashed down inside of there? Yeah, that's because of the earthquake like 5 months ago and I just never cleaned them up. That's mostly TNA DVDs though. But yeah, I thought there was a Best of the Big Men. Like the top 50 big men. There's no way that was a VHS tape, because that would be too long ago for that to be a VHS tape that I owned. It had to be a DVD. I don't know, but there we go. Oh, and I thought of another one. King Kong freaking Bundy. King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd. Big John Studd was a different type of big man, but he was big. I was a big fan of Bundy and Studd. I can't believe they never held the tag team championship. I thought for sure Bundy and Studd were going to be tag team champions when I was a kid. I was just waiting for them to start destroying through people, but I would assume it's because after I've read and heard and seen lots of stuff about Studd and his attitude towards being there against Andre and stuff like that, and Andre's hatred of Studd. Maybe that was what kind of held them back. But yeah, you got to put Bundy in there. Bundy's got to be one of the best big men. Like they let him go WrestleMania 2. He headlined WrestleMania 2. So yeah, he's got to be up there as well. So we got 8. Because we're not putting Andre on the list. We got 8 of the best big men. I'm not going to repeat the list because I'm going to forget like 1 or 2 of the ones that I said by now, and then I'm going to just look like an idiot. So, okay, there we go. I've rambled on long enough. There is my Legends Funko Pop. Rick Rude's here now. British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith is here, and Big Bubba Rogers, the Guardian Angel, and the Big Boss Man. And of course, just the Boss Man in the Attitude Era when he switched over to just being the Boss Man. Okay, that's it for me. If you're new here because of the Funko Pops, like, share, subscribe. I do a lot of card breaks. I am going to be going through a lot of my Funkos because I pre-ordered a crap ton of Funkos about 3 or 4 months ago, and they're all rolling in, and goddamn, my wife's angry at me for how many packages are coming from Amazon. My credit card's a little angry at me for how many packages are coming from Amazon right now, too. So, and I'm a little mad at myself for how many I ordered, but who cares? I need more Funkos. And yes, I do open them, and I do put them on the shelf without their boxes just to piss people off because it's so much fun taking these and just breaking down the plastic and recycling it and pissing off pop people. Okay, that's it. Stay tuned for more card breaks, more Funko Pops, more fun of a lot of stuff. I still have a special Funko set that has nothing to do with wrestling that I really want to do a break of, which hopefully I can do at some point soon. Today I finally got a day where my wife's not here on my day off and I can be in the office doing this stuff, so I'm getting a bunch of shit done. Okay, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for checking out the Funkos with me. No apologies to the people who don't open Funko Pops because I open them and that's what I do. So that's it. Okay, see you guys on the next video. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.